So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take your chart that you created in Google Sheets and get it into Google Draw so we can add a little bit more to it so you can do the calculations that you need to do for your normal distribution or your normal curve. So I'm going to start by clicking on this, and I'm going to right click actually on it, and I'm going to, oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to come over here and go to edit, and I'm going to grab copy. And then I already have a Google Draw file set up, so I'm just going to click on the Google Draw file, and I'm going to come over here to where it says edit and click paste. You can also hit Control V and Control C. If you want to link it to the spreadsheet, that's fine. All right, then what I'm going to do is I need to grab some of these numbers in here that I had calculated. So you'll notice, and my numbers are kind of hiding behind this. I can pick this guy up and I can move him around. So I'm going to move him around because I need, oops, these calculations that we did right here for the first deviation, the second deviation, the third, and so on. So I'm going to start by writing my mean on there, and I'm just going to go one decimal place. I know normally we do three, but we're just going to go one, and I'm going to put my 375.6. So I have to figure out where that is. It looks like it's right in between there. So I'm going to draw a line. And so I just grab the line tool. Oops, not there. Let's try that again. I'm going to grab the line tool. And I'm going to try to draw a line in here. And then that line's not super thick. So I'm going to keep it black, but I'm going to make it thicker. So I use this right here to make it thicker. I'm going to make it 4 points so I can really see that line. Oops. And I'm going to draw a line like that for each one of my breaks and standard deviation. I'm going to grab a text box, and since I'm going to have to do some other calculations with those numbers, I'm going to write that on here, 375, it was 0.6. And I'm going to choose to put that in a different color, and there's a little bit too much, oh, I didn't get decimal point in there. A little bit too much red on there, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it blue. You can turn it whatever color you want, but I would turn it different, the text a different color so that it's distinguished from the other text that's there, and you know these are the calculations you did. So I'm going to keep doing that until I get all of my little breaks and my standard deviation in there. So I'll do one more with you. It looks like my first standard deviation to the right is 433.48. So 433.5 is what I would write down. So I'm actually going to probably write that down first. 433.5. I'm just going to copy this. 433.5. And I'm going to paste. I'm going to try to get it's going to be somewhere in there. 433.5. I'm going to go ahead and write in my first line here. I'm going to drop that line in there, draw that in there. And again, I'm going to make it thicker to like 4 points so I can really see it. All right, so I'm going to continue doing that to work on filling in my chart. Then I'm going to put my percentages in here. So remember when we were doing this work in class, we had percentages that we put in there. So I'm just going to draw a text box right over the top. I'm going to type the percentage. I know that that one's 34%. I'm not going to do any more of them for you than that because you can look them up. I'm going to make it bold. I'm going to make it bigger so I can read it. I really, really, really should have made the chart color back there something nicer than red so that we could read over the top of it. The other thing I could do is I could color behind it. I can fill in the solid fill behind instead of making it transparent. I can make it something else so that I can actually see it. But don't try not to cover up your lines. I might just need to make my font a little bit smaller. But you can play with that and make it look nice. The other thing that you're going to do with a text box in here is you should layer over. You have an element in yours where you have to figure out what grade you got. I'm going to make that 24, see if it fits. There you go. So you could do this exact same thing with a text box and lay it kind of over the top of the data. So I could grab another text box and whatever, and I can put it over the top of my data, grade 1 or whatever it is, whatever your grade is that you got on whatever the thing is. So whatever the test is. and I could lay that over the top, and I can center things over here, make it look nice. Just make sure your data is presentable. You are going to turn this in because you're actually doing your mathematical work on here by putting the percentages on and layering in the values of your deviations.